very spooky stories. So why don't y'all introduce yourselves? You can go like in the order that you're in chat.
Not it.
That probably would make the
Yeah.
most
Okay, I
sense.
guess that's it.
So it would start with Daphne.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm just kind of nervous.
Also, if there's any viewers in here just yet, tell us how the voices sound if I need to adjust, because I don't know yet.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm just having like the stream on an iPad, so. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, good.
Sounds good.
Actually, you're a little quiet on my end.
Wait,
so
Ram,
I'm
are you
gonna
live
turn
on Twitch?
It might have taken a second to connect. It says online now, so hopefully it should actually be online.
I have it on it. It says "Sweet dreams. Thank you for visiting."
Oh crap! I forgot to hit transition. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. That's just me being an idiot. Everything is scuffed forever.
It's working now.
You really
Oh,
can't
this
drive.
is so
You
cute.
weren't lying. You weren't lying.
Okay, we're good now. I think, yeah, we should be good.
Holy crap.
Oh, do y'all want blankets? I put a blanket on my avatar.
Oh, can I get a blanket, please?
You can get a blanket. What color do you want?
Yellow.
Yellow? Okay.
Yes, please.
I would try for a blue one.
I long to be cozy. That's all I want in life.
Froggies are cold-blooded,
Okay,
need
so
warmth.
yellow. Who said blue?
I got fur, so.
I think Izzy said blue.
Okay.
If you've got black in there, you're making my night.
I think I do. They're Kate Catboys, and I think there's a lot of colors, so.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yes.
We're all gonna get cozy.
Yes. So y'all can go ahead and start introducing yourselves if you want while I sort the blankets out.
Okay. So I think we're gonna go by order. So Daphne, why don't you go first?
Oh, sure. Hi everyone, my name is Daphne Nico. I am a sparkle dog from space, I guess. My pronouns are he, him, and you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Matchabi. Yeah.
Good to meet you, Daphne.
Yeah.
I'm
so nervous.
I think the next one would be me.
Yeah.
So, hi, my name is Julep. I'm a pig, and I live in Florida. Those are the two things that I have so far on my lore, and I'm also a farmer. And that's it. And this is my first ever stream appearance ever.
Yay!
Ever.
I feel special.
I'm a little nervous. I am maybe a little bit hyped up on energy drinks, perhaps. And my pronouns are he, they, and it. And I'm really excited to be here. You can find me at Pig Julep on Twitch or on Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter right now because my computer is a little bit of a struggle. It's doing its best.
Oh boy. It's nice to meet you, Julep.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Rem, I think you're next.
Oh yes. So I am Rem Inverse. I am the only one streaming this at the moment, and we're going to be doing more of these collabs, so more people might get set up to stream them next time. But I am a demon from a world of dreams and nightmares, but I am currently stuck in a human form on this stupid earth. So that's why I'm here VTubing, because it's the only way I can assume my true form. Oh, and my pronouns are she, her, and they, them. Either one's fine.
Archie in the chat says that Sheh is violent. Not violent, silent.
Violent. I'm very violent.
You're silent.
Violent. What is that?
Very violent.
Oh, okay. Let me turn Sheh up then. Okay, say something, Sheh.
Hi, this is something.
Is that better?
Archie says Sheh wakes up every day and chooses violence. That this is true, and also says it's better.
Daphne, did you win a blanket, and if so, what color? I think I missed.
Give me if you have pink.
I do
Let
have
me
pink.
have
I
it
have
then.
a light pink and I have hot pink.
Hot pink.
Hot pink, okay.
Okay, and I think it's my turn on the introduction thing.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm Shayna. I come from, I guess you could just say anywhere. I just kind of came to be out of the energy of pure stupidity. And I am your average big titty goth girlfriend. Yes, and you are indeed my little PogChamp. But as it were, I tend to play darker themed RPGs and tend to have fun doing it. And my pronouns are she, her, and they, them. And you can find me at the Twitch channel under the same name, or you can find me on Twitter at Shayna8.
All right.
To meet you, Sheh. Also, the blankets just loaded in, and we look so cozy.
Yes.
Very
Sorry, I'm
cozy.
still adjusting them a little bit. But
Yeah, they look so cute.
they're really good. Thank you to Kate Catboy for making these awesome blankets in every color under the sun.
Just a
So
rainbow of
cute.
blankets.
And so, last but definitely not least, we have Issy.
Hi, I'm Issy. I haven't dropped my lore yet.
you cannot know me.
Unknowable.
She's a cryptic. She's a cryptic.
No, you just have to pay for subscription for their lore, obviously.
Gotta reach to level 50 for lore.
Yeah, about all you need to know about me is that I am a froggy, and I do magic, and streaming, and I'm super gay, and I do art sometimes, I play games, I like to learn a lot of stuff, like just do a whole bunch of things that I think are fun. My pronouns are she, her.
Awesome.
To meet you.
Yeah.
I support all frogs. My Pama is a frog person as well.
Yes.
So
ow.
there's something I need to clear up here because it is
Froggies.
a pretty common conspiracy with frogs.
Yeah.
Do you indeed? Does the water indeed make you gay? Like, what's going on there?
Did the water make you gay?
Yeah, like what happened there?
Oh, well, don't you know? All the frogs are gay.
Every frog.
So
The
every
water
frog is just
itself
gay.
isn't the one that's causing it.
The frogs made the water gay. We figured it
So-
out.
We figured it out. We're making discoveries here tonight on top of discussing spooky stories.
The mysteries of the universe
That's
right
what I'm here
here
for.
on Inverse channel.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's
Oh, and I forgot to mention, my Twitter is IssyFrogVT, no spaces. And my Twitch is Your Beloved Issy. And I see a certain stellar empress in chat. That is, in fact, my wife.
Oh,
A
awesome.
wife.
we are
What?
blessed with your wife's presence.
Oh
She is magic too.
Yay.
Excellent.
no.
And she also confirms that every frog is gay.
Yeah.
I feel like this has just been a long time thing. Like they have just discovered through like, you know, experimentation that every frog is just indeed gay. It's just an occurrence.
Confirmed.
I mean, when
Confirmed.
you can change around your biology like we can, like, you have to settle for something.
Like just like every morning I choose violence, every day you choose to be gay. Wait, hold on. You don't choose it. That's a bad way to put that.
Yeah, that's
It's
me.
alright.
That's a horrible way to put that. I am sorry.
You're good.
Alrighty, so that's everybody's
but the-
introduction, I think, unless you have more to say.
I was just gonna say, like, the key is not to think about it too hard.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Thinking
As,
true.
hard.
as I said, I am made of the energy of pure stupidity. So forgive me.
That's okay. I'm the one who started the stream on my goodbye image for like 2 minutes.
Stupidity can be quantified as a kinetic force sometimes, so maybe you're just kind of getting some of my blowback. I'm sorry.
There's too much
entropy.
idiot power in this room right now.
There are 5 of us, and we have maybe 3 brain cells between all of us.
Yeah.
We're probably sharing one from Rem.
Yeah, I know I don't own any of those. So.
Radiate your energy right now.
But yeah, so do y'all want to get started telling some spooky stories?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Stories.
yeah. I want to hear Shay's. I want to hear Shay's stories.
Oh god. So I mentioned the bomb story to you, and everybody is so excited about this bomb story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Okay. So I guess I have to tell it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Archie, stop sending me curse shit while I'm trying to tell stories. I don't need Neko Loki in my life, please.
I do. I would like Neko Loki in my life, please.
Archie, send for Neko Loki.
Look at this.
Oh, this is sounding out pretty great. Oh no!
I knew they were gonna do some shit like this too. I like how he's like yeah too.
Rem, if you can, just try and put that on screen. The picture.
Wait, oh, is it? Oh, I see. It has been linked in
feel-
the collab chat.
Just make it really small on and put it like as a picture on the wall.
What's up, Issy?
Oh,
I feel an emotion. It's
Certainly,
definitely
this thing is too powerful for 2015.
There definitely is an emotion there, yeah.
I'm trying to
That
get
emotion
the image open
is
so I
not
can...
positive in any way.
Oh god. Okay, so position it behind the window.
Unfortunately, I don't have like a separate
Oh man.
window frame.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would definitely.
Just have him peep in.
Just cat boy, Loki just spying on a bunch of like.
It won't
people
let me drag it
having
in.
a
I'm gonna have to
sleepover.
actually save this image to my computer. In order to put it on stream.
The
It's
chaos
going
is
to affect
Archie.
your hard drive.
Hey, about that bomb story.
Yes,
Yeah,
tell us
right.
the bomb
Yeah,
story.
In the middle of November or December a few years back, and I was still living in Mississippi. And it was maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was still smoking at this time. I was smoking cigarettes. So I would go outside on the porch pretty often. It didn't matter the time, but I was kind of a night owl at the time. And I went outside to just smoke a cigarette. And about like halfway through my cigarette, there is all of a sudden just a loud erupting boom, and the power goes out, right? So you hear the boom, kind of like, I guess it's kind of light to start, and then just kind of like pops off, and it's just shattering. It shook the windows, and then the power went out. So I was out in the dark with no porch light, and I'm wondering, what the fuck just happened? As I'm trying to, like, I threw my cigarette, I didn't care it was still lit, and I went inside, and my mom was up at that point trying to figure out what the hell just happened, and we're calling 911 trying to figure out what happened, and calling them like, we just heard this bang and blah blah blah, and well, they said it was probably just a transformer that blew, because if you're in a hurricane at all, whenever transformers get knocked over or get knocked around too much, they'll have a loud bang as well.
Mm-hmm.
but this was just too distinct, and it didn't sound like it was anywhere near the road.
But was
Well,
it hurricane season?
it was not. Well, yes,
Oh.
technically it was, because hurricane season goes from August to December
Yeah.
in the South.
Mm.
But it was not rainy at all. It was just cold, chilly, and quiet that night. So it didn't seem like it was a transformer. So we go to bed, we're still very unsettled about what happened. And I've never seen a transformer also blow out and shake the windows at the same time. Well, my cousin Michael comes over the next day because there was like, we were still having trouble with the power, and he was trying to help the men or whatever, like lead them to like where our main lines were and so forth. And I was asking him, did he hear the boom? Because he's like right behind us in the main house. And he's like, yeah, it was our neighbor. He built and set off a pipe bomb.
Oh my god.
What?
The other
Wow.
road
What?
over, yes. Yes, he had. Okay, so apparently this neighbor had been for a while experimenting with like different explosives and stuff like that. He managed to manufacture a pipe bomb, build it, and set it off.
Oh my
I
god.
have
And it
so many questions. I have so many questions for this neighbor.
yeah,
What?
this neighbor was also notorious for doing things like shooting possums and stuff that would come near
Oh.
his chickens and stuff too, right?
Ah,
Ugh.
Yeah.
is he? Are they like not the not good, not nice kind of people?
Yeah, I mean, we never talked to him because they were another road over.
Mm.
To give you kind of reference, the road, like it was at least, I guess, could be considered a city block away from us. He set the pipe bomb off, and it was so explosive that he shattered his own windows out of his house, nearly shattered my cousin's windows out of his house, and managed to, because most of Mississippi's lines are underground because of Katrina now, he managed to knock one of the main transformers down on that corner.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh
And
my.
we were out of power for 16 hours while they put up a new transformer.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's really scary. That is
Yeah.
really scary.
That's just like some like what kind of mess is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Soul Reaper just said, how bored do you have to be making bombs? To my knowledge,
Use that
no one
intellect.
got hurt.
Okay, that's
Like,
good at least.
thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. At least like sure, no power for 16 hours, but like did he get caught?
Of course he got caught. There was a big crater in his backyard.
Kind of hard to miss.
But, like, it's kind of hard to freaking... And to my knowledge, he fessed up to doing it. And he got charges for it. But it was like, how stupid do you have to be? 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning doing that crap,
And,
too.
like, why? Just
Like-
why?
No,
Why
like,
was he making something like that?
Just because you
I
can?
didn't know the guy personally. It's like, it's just like...
It's Mississippi.
stuff-
I get
it's
you.
Mississippi.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
understandable.
Mississippi.
It's
That's the way to
Mississippi.
sign it off. Mississippi.
So I
But-
live in southern West Virginia, so it's kind of similar.
You're like
Yeah.
on. You're like as north as you can be and be in the south.
Yeah.
Like,
Rem.
yeah. Because the when it comes to weird crap like that, the South just takes it to another level. You know.
I shared a meme the other day because my power went out for no reason, and it was Southerners be like, and it was like Squidward sleeping, and it was Squidward sleeping through, and it said gunshots, hurricanes, fireworks, and then Squidward with his eyes open and bloodshot, and it was no fan.
Yeah, no,
Literally.
That's me.
That is the exact experience.
Yeah.
Like, you just hear a bang outside, it's like, well, could have been a gun, could have been a firework. It's not in my yard. I'm fine with that.
It didn't hit my house, it didn't hit my window, it ain't my problem.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
So,
It's-
so to put that in context, the sound that Sheh must have heard must have been pretty intense.
Yeah,
because
the windows for crying out
Yeah.
loud.
it,
Like
yeah.
it's
I'm
enough. It was
surprised that the
enough for me to
windows
be
like
like,
didn't break at your place.
it was enough for like me to drop my cigarette, be like, well, I don't care if that ember sets fire to the dry leaves. I'm going inside. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. Time to be safe.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
that reminds me of a story that okay, so I am from West Virginia, and I'm not like, I grew up not quite in a rural area, but it was definitely outside the city, and it wasn't really suburb either. It was kind of in between the 2.
Mhm.
And so, like, I didn't really know any of my neighbors. Like, we lived up on a hill, and then there were people who lived up on the hill behind us, and we didn't know most of the neighbors. My parents kind of knew them, I did not. But one day I was in the house alone. My parents were both out, and I was just sitting there in the living room watching TV. And out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw my dad standing on the porch, and he smokes a lot. Like, every time he gets out of a car, he smokes. So I thought, dad smoking a cigarette, just standing there. But he was there for a really long time. And I turned and I looked, and it was someone I had never seen in my life, just standing there looking at me through my door window.
Oh.
Didn't knock or anything. This person that I've never seen in my life. So I walk over, I open the door like just a little bit to see like what the heck this person wants. And apparently he was from the house up on the hill behind us. And he was apparently looking for his dog, but the way that he communicated this information to me, I just didn't trust it. He sort of tried to come in, and I shut the door on him. So you're not coming in. Scared the crap out of me, because I can count the number of times that someone has come to my door on one hand in my entire, I'm 30 years old, in my entire life. The number of times people came to the door of that house, I can count on one hand, and that's one of them. It scared the crap out of me. Now, I found out later that he probably was actually just looking for his dog. My parents knew the family from that house. I have no idea why he didn't knock to this day still, but he had actually lost his dog, so I felt kind of bad, but it was terrifying.
Oh, God.
So when you change your address, that's a public record. And so my parents moved to a new house with me when I was still living with my parents. And I had the worst first day in the house. So I had my job, and my job at that time was I was a face painter at an amusement park. And so it's just hot and sweaty and not great. I'm driving through this nice neighborhood because my parents are middle class, but they're aspiring high class people. and I have a shitty car, so a cop just follows me through.
Oh, God.
And I miss a stop sign because this is my second day, first actual full day in the new house, and I miss a stop sign and I get pulled over. I'm a white person, so I come from it with a lot of privilege. I always get off with a warning, but sometimes cops are creeps, and they just yell at me until I start crying, and then they let me off with a warning so that I can thank them a lot, and they can get their power trip out of that. Anyways, cops are bastards. Anyways,
Yeah.
but after
that,
but after that, I drive up to my new house, and these people pull over and try and come up behind me, and they're in a nice car, and I go to the door, and I'm trying to unlock the door, but the thing is, our house's door, the lock is really jammed. And I already had been crying, but I also was in face paint, so the face paint was running. So and these men come out of their car, 2 men, and they come to me in the front door, and they're like, "Hello, we know that you recently moved in." And I was like, and I looked at them, and I can just imagine, because I have my face paint running down my face, and I can't open my front door. I'm trying to undo the lock. My dog's barking on the other side of the door, and like it was this really like scary moment. I wanted to stay more towards like fun scary moments, but this was a really scary moment for me of these like salesmen. They were roof salesmen that were just trying to do a presentation for my dad. And my parents weren't home and no one was home, and they were like two like men, and I'm a very short person. And it's just like, please just leave me alone. And then they like wait. I was like, my parents will be here shortly. I'm sorry, gentlemen. And they just like hung around in my front yard while I fumbled with the door lock for the entire time. Yes, I am short, Archie. Thanks. But yeah. It was so creepy. People are creepy.
Yeah.
Question for most cis men: why? Why would you do this?
Yeah, just why?
Just why?
So,
cis men just run on lizard brains sometimes. It just happens.
So like I'm not really afraid of ghosts or anything like that. I'm just afraid of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are more terrifying.
Even my scary ghost story, I would say people, I will tell that toward the end because I'm saving it for last, but people scare me a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, speaking of like, I'm gonna go back to like, if anyone else has anything they want to say, I could just save my story. My next one. So you want me to tell it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I have another story about like knocks on the door and them being like really creepy. Imagine getting a knock during a Category 3 hurricane.
Oh God.
What?
Oh no, what?
Yeah.
No.
Freaks out in Floridian? Who?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What the hell? Well, it's one part very, very sad and one part very, 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 very creepy. So it was I don't remember what hurricane it was exactly, but it was probably about 4 years ago now, so 2017, late 2017.
Sounds like Matthew.
Yeah, I think it was Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And it was coming up the coast, and so we were getting some bad, blowback from it and stuff. And it was about sitting at Category 2.5, Category 3 when it was coming through in the middle of the night. And it was my mom, me, my dog, and my 2 cats, or 1 cat at the time. And so we're just sitting it out. And like I said, most of Mississippi's lines are underground now, so we had power all throughout it. That wasn't an issue. The issue was in all this.
Oh, thanks for hopping in, Tori. Sorry.
But the issue was, we had our TV on all night on the Weather Channel or whatever, and some of the local weather that was running overnight. And it was part of like getting close to the eye, so it was a lot of wind howling. So we hear this kind of knock at the door, and we have at the time we had a very old petrified oak by our house that had low-hanging branches. So at first we thought it was a branch hitting the door. And no, because when the wind even calmed down, we kept hearing the knock. And there was a lot of rain at this point. And
oh my gosh.
My dog was sleeping by the door. She got up, she stared at the door, and then promptly put her tail between her legs and walked away from the door. And me and my mom are staring at it, standing in the living room, cutting our TV down just to hear these knocks, and it's like, and just getting louder and louder, these knocks.
Mm-hmm.
And they become kind of more panicked.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they just stop. And then it's not long after that we're seeing kind of red and blue lights outside. It's maybe like 30 minutes after these knocks and stuff like that. and we can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see anything about it. And after the hurricane finally passes through, it's maybe late 2 o'clock afternoon. The power does eventually shut down so they can do repairs, to the
Mm-hmm.
transformers and stuff.
Mhm.
And we're just looking over the damage and trying to get air into the house.
Yeah.
But our uncle comes up to us at our back, our porch, and is like, did y'all hear Lori last night? And it's like, what are you talking about? Lori, my cousin's fiance, had snuck out of the house after she stabbed my cousin in the groin
What?
Oh,
My
after they were drunk.
God.
After they were drunk through that hurricane, and the 911 had to be called. Yeah,
My
in the middle
God.
of a fucking
Oh my
hurricane.
god.
Yeah.
Holy
So it was Lori after she had stabbed my cousin.
oh my gosh.
And yeah.
What?
It was pretty. She was trying to find somewhere to hide out, I guess. I don't know. My cousin survived, and so did Lori, but that whole story ends very sadly later on. I'm not going to go into details because it's
Yeah.
still an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. So my
I'm
cousin
glad you didn't
survive.
open the door.
Yeah,
Same.
very much
Yeah.
so.
As
So
bad
That
as he
would've
makes
been-
me feel.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
when you
that
first
would've
said
been a
that,
mess.
I was like, oh, it's somebody you knew, and then it was like, wait. No, don't.
It's always that.
It very much is someone we knew. It's just, yeah, the context of why it happened, it just makes it that much more grim and kind of scary on like the whole thing, in the middle of a Cat 3 hurricane. Like, yeah, I was a whole thing of me putting my arm in front of my mouth, like, no, don't open it, do not open it.
Your
Yeah.
senses are good. Your senses are good.
Yeah.
The sixth sense will protect you on that.
Yeah,
Gut feelings. Gut feelings.
feeling.
Yeah.
Speaking of gut feelings, I think I can have a thing to share.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So when I was younger, about elementary school age, I want to say like maybe, let's see, I couldn't have been any younger than 9, because that was around the time that the house that I live in now was built and that we all live in. And my mom was coming in to tuck me in, and I just had this weird, really bad, sickly feeling in my stomach. And, I told mom about it, like, I can't really explain why. I really feel bad about something, like almost like something bad is gonna happen. And, she told me, like, don't worry about it, like, just try to sleep it off, try your best. And I did, like, I can't remember exactly how well I slept that night, but I did sleep eventually. And then as um, as I was getting ready in the morning to go to school, and mom was driving us over, like just as soon as we drove out of our neighborhood, like we live in a rural sort of like cul-de-sac system.
Mhm.
Like we drove out and like we were just barely out of it, and she was like, hey, so you know how you were talking to me about having a bad feeling last night? And I was like, yeah. And she said, I have a feeling that you might be a little bit psychic, because she heard from a friend that night that her baby stopped breathing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Um,
My.
so Like, luckily, she did manage to catch it in time, and the baby survived. But like, I know I've always kind of had like strong intuitive feelings, and that was probably like the strongest it ever got.
I definitely do feel like, so I'm not very much of a skeptic at all. I'm probably one of the most superstitious people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I will make up my own superstitions based on nothing. But like, I do feel like there's definitely like a lot of merit to like having a bad feeling and just like knowing something's wrong just in the world, especially when it's people that like are connected to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, probably the second strongest it's ever been with my intuition is anytime like I was in school, I was in class, like I think around like middle school, high school, like just randomly I would think of like a random SpongeBob episode, and it would always be like later in the day. My little brother is always watching that same episode I was always thinking about, and that
Oh my
happened
god.
time and time and time again. It's
just connected.
Connected.
You know,
I
I
I
have
can
the
SpongeBob.
ability. What's your power? I can predict SpongeBob episodes. What?
I can predict specifically the SpongeBob episodes that my brother is watching at the time that he's watching them.
I think it sends him watching it, and then it comes to you like a radio signal.
That was like my
Well,
my
okay.
power. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say there's actually a funny thing about that. That old fillings from around the 50s and stuff like that would actually pick up radio signals because of the material they were made out of.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Rem?
Oh, I was gonna say that was like the ability that I had to so every time I turned the TV on to watch Cowboy Bebop, it would always be Waltz for Venus. That episode happened like 6 times. And I never got to see any other episodes for a really long time. Because it would always be that episode.
My favorite episode, and every time I would usually watch Cowboy Bebop, it was Heavy Metal Queen for me.
Oh, I love Heavy Metal Queen. I just recently watched Cowboy Bebop, you guys, because because I'm in a game that is like science fiction, and the GM was like, "Wait, you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop? Go watch it right now." I loved that so much. I'm so glad I did.
I still need to.
Yeah. There is like I do have like one story here. I have like a couple, but I'll just start out with this with my old high school. Uh it was shit, but it was basically this very posh place for rich kids. I somehow got in, don't know how. And the place is built on like former graveyard land. And like this place is huge, like massive, with like one giant classroom building and the other building being like sports science labs and all of that. So when and also like right next door is like my city's the city's main graveyard.
Oh.
So so like every time like when we like surrounding the graveyard, like in my country, surrounding our graveyards we have this like gated fence. So I'm not sure why. I think it's just to prevent people from like stepping over into the grass and just like separating from the main pavement to the like the yard and stuff. And what's funny about this, like I've asked my dad once, it's like, why do they just have this fence here though? Like when we lived in the States, like you guys don't have fences. My dad's like, well, it's obviously to keep the ghosts out.
Well, I mean,
So-
you kind of wonder why the deal for that land came across in the first place, and they're like, well, I mean, you could have ghost credit and get it cheap.
Yeah,
So-
and Yeah, what?
Go ahead.
No. Go.
So it's talking about me being superstitious and like collecting superstitions like some people collect Funko Pops. When I was like 12, when I was like 12, I was taking a American Girl a personality test of how superstitious are you, and one of the things was like, what do you do when you pass a grave? And one of the multiple when one of the multiple choice answers was, I hold my breath until I leave it. And I was like, well, I don't do that right now, but I like, it's best to be safe. And to this day,
The same
ever
thing.
since
No.
I read that,
The
I
same-
held my breath
Oh no.
whenever we
God.
pass the graveyard.
The same thing happened to me.
God.
Literally, I remember that quiz, and that's where I learned that superstition too, and I started doing it. I don't do it anymore, but I used
Old
to.
habits.
Just the power of suggestion. Like, maybe you should hold your breath while you pass a grave. Who knows?
Oh God. I
No,
have
that's
a
actually something what we have is that we don't yawn, because they say if you yawn when you pass a grave, or especially like if you're at a funeral house, so like the spirits will just like enter through your mouth. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, screw that.
Well, it comes back to the whole thing of why you say bless you when somebody sneezes.
So that their soul
So
doesn't
the
leave their
demons
body,
don't
right?
go inside
Right.
the
Well,
nose.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
your heart stops.
it's on two things. You know, it's on two things. It's one thing of when you sneeze, your soul leaves your body for a second. When you say bless you, it keeps the devil from touching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, also like stepping on a crack, like, will break your mother's back. Like,
God.
I would walk to school and not do that. I read, my great grandmother wrote an autobiography, and she was a person that one of those Christians that don't dance and have
Oh,
other
no.
things. She had two things.
Oh.
So that was one of the things, was like, oh, I never danced, and that's why I've lived until I'm 80 years old. Haha. And
Leave
then the
enough
other
room for
thing,
Jesus. Leave enough room for Jesus kind of dancing.
Jesus just said no dance.
Jesus would never like you to dance, actually, even though people dance in
Yeah,
the
but-
Bible. Not
Okay.
you, though.
Not you.
No.
And
There's
then,
this thing. There's this thing where when swinging was a big thing back in
Yeah.
the like 40s, they said, "Don't get too close to your partner. Leave enough room for Jesus."
Yeah.
she was actually in the like 20s or something.
Oh,
And
wow.
also the other thing was, don't walk over sewer grates. And she had a story about it in her autobiography, which is she walked over a sewer grate while she was going to a World's Fair. And that was like the year that World War II was happening. And she went to the World's Fair. She was at like a country's, I can't remember what country's, like, tent, but it was like this big round thing. It's like how Epcot is set up. I just realized that I'm from Orlando, Florida, and you guys probably don't just know how Epcot is set up, so I don't know why I said that. But, like, it's a circle with all these countries, like, on as if a clock. And so she was at like a place's tent, and then suddenly all of the lights at that tent shut off, and they found out why, and it was because Germany had just taken over that country. And she was like, it's because I walked on a sewer grate.
Grandma's she's a little too
That was my
like,
great grandmother, my grandma Mac. And she just decided that was why, and she never walked on another sewer grate for the rest of her life.
Oh
oh my god.
So,
Oh my god.
I didn't like to walk over sewer grates, but I was just afraid I was gonna fall into them. So
Yeah,
Same.
even me also. I'm like terrified of manholes. So it's like I've seen enough videos where like people just like stepped over them and just like fell, like their leg
Oh,
just like
God.
decided like give in.
It reminds me of the hilarious story where a radio DJ in some town, I don't remember if that's actually why it happened, but there was a radio DJ in some town told like 30 or 40 different listeners at the same time at 4 in the morning to flush their toilet at the same time. And it was on like some highway or something, but a manhole cover comes shooting off of the freaking,
What?
thing, and it goes up and it just lands on somebody's front side of their truck.
Oh,
Oh my.
It's no good.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
bad.
story, but that was a story that was he woke up and chose violence. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh
this
my
radio
god.
DJ, this old disc jockey in the 90s
Can you
or
imagine?
early
Can you
2000s
imagine just like
said,
driving in the highway and then suddenly a manhole cover just like comes flying through your windshield?
God.
Oh, I don't
it's just
want to.
water spraying everywhere because he told
Oh.
40 or 50 some odd listeners, okay, it's that time of the night.
Oh boy.
Oh, speaking
Oh
of
my
things
God.
flying, I have like a small. This is like kind of a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really like I don't know if any ghosts were involved, but I never had an explanation for it other than maybe static
pretty sus.
electricity. So one time like I was sitting again watching TV and I was like the couch was pretty close to the TV and everybody in my family was in the living room so I could see like where they all were at the time that this happened, but I was just sitting there and a tea light candle popped up off the TV, like in an arc, and it hit my foot. And everyone
Did you get
looked at
burned?
each other. No, it wasn't lit, thankfully. Everyone looked, like my mom saw it. I don't think anybody else saw it, but my mom saw it and we were just like looking at each other like, what? Like nobody was moving. Like nothing else moved in the house. So I don't think it was like an earthquake or anything like that. Those don't really happen here anyway. It just like this one tea light candle popped up in an arc and hit my foot. And we were like, static electricity, maybe?
Whatever spirit is probably just trying to get your attention.
Yeah, like, did a ghost throw a tea light candle at my foot? What? Why? That's rude.
You must have been saying some mad shit on the astral plane.
I like the idea of like a ghost that can only interact with people through candles being like, fuck this, and then stupid.
This bitch ain't lit.
So this is my first stream and I just learned a thing, which is don't drink 2 energy drinks right before stream. I'm gonna be right back.
No.
Understandable.
I warned
I
you.
will be right
I
back. I'm gonna
literally
disappear though.
Understandable. Oh no, Julep is phased out of existence. Julep was a ghost the whole time.
Julep used it to transmission.
It's the first
Oh my
ever VTuber live stream with an actual ghost.
Well, I mean, you couldn't expect anything better than spooky story time to have
True.
an actual ghost.
That's
I say
true,
that,
true,
then I'm
true.
like, wait, there are ghost VTubers.
They are the spooky
Quite
stories.
a few. I follow several.
I know.
Oh, Lord.
I could probably bring up some smaller little occurrences that have happened to me. I know one of them is pretty easily explainable as just like tech issues, but I remember around the same age that like I had the that gut feeling happen, like around that time I was still in that room. Anyway,
That's strange.
so a lot of times, like whenever it was the weekend, you know, I'm somebody that we probably discussed earlier, like I have a harder time falling asleep if I don't have some kind of background noise. And so on the weekends when I would stay up really late, anytime I would get ready for bed, I would just like pop in some kind of movie or something and just watch it until I fell asleep. And you know, over time, like the machine, like it was one of those old VHS and DVD player combos. And at the time, welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I think like at the time, like the DVD player was kind of like not working right, so I could only watch VHS. And then over time, like that started to erode and stuff. Anyway, one morning I was waking up and the TV was off. I would assume like one of my parents like just came in and turned off all the stuff. And then like I was just kind of laying in bed. I was awake, but like I would just lay there with my eyes closed, and completely unprompted, like the VHS like ejected the tape and then started making like weird noises that I hadn't heard before.
Oh
And,
no.
Oh no.
That's creepy.
And like like yeah, that one is pretty much explainable to just like it was getting old and probably just short-circuiting in a few places. But I know another instance I had that I don't think has much of an explanation. So I have two brothers and I'm the middle child. My older brother had moved out of the house by this point, and I got his room because it was bigger than my old one. And again, it was just one of those times where like I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep. I think this was around like middle school. And like I was trying to fall asleep, and you know, I'm somebody who always likes their privacy, so like the room to my door is always shut, and like it's always shut tight. And like I was trying to fall asleep, and I just kind of heard like a little shudder, and I legit saw my door open and then close. And
Nope. Nope.
yeah.
No.
And so like the next morning I was like, I went to my mom and my stepdad like, hey, did you like check up on me last night? And they both said no. And you know, I explained to them like, well, last night I just saw my door like open and close itself. And like they tried to explain it like it had something to do like with like maybe like the heating or like the airflow in the house, like maybe opened it and then did that whole thing. But like I shut my door tight. Like, and I don't remember if I necessarily heard the doorknob turning. I just know I heard it open. And granted, I don't have a lock on my door, but like it's all the way shut, like near constantly. And I really just don't know how like a draft or something could be strong enough to like open it when the knob is fastened.
I feel like opening it is like possible, but the fact that it's shut again, that really is like, that's not.
There's definitely someone in there.
I used to get really scared when I was a kid because of drafts, but like I had an extremely light door, and so eventually I figured out why it was happening. But if somebody like opened and shut the front door, an air current would come down the hall and like slam my door.
Mhm.
Aw.
Just boom.
Yeah, so it was really scary until I figured out why it was happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of rooms, when I was like back in like my home country for a while, I had this like touch lamp, so like you can touch it and it'll just like have like three settings to turn on,
Mm.
like three settings of light intensity. So every time I just walk in, it would just be on, and I'm like, okay, maybe I like didn't like maybe I accidentally touched it or something though. So I just like tap it back. And then when I was like drawing and just listening to a podcast, it turned on by itself.
Oh, that's always
So
And
scary.
I'm just like, this is like in the middle of damn day. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe my elbow just touched it. Though I'm trying to be rational
Mm.
because I am very much the same person who would just like go screaming down the hall whether it's a ghost in my room. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I might have accidentally touched it. I'm doing my work again. I'm like studying um, I'm studying with some friends, and suddenly it keeps turning on. And to like I'm not touching it. Like nothing. Like only it works with skin. So like not the Uno pack that's next to me, not my phone that's next to me. Like I
Mhm.
tried everything. Like no, it
Oh
doesn't
man.
it doesn't react to anything that's not skin. And I'm pretty sure who's ever viewing down the chat is probably horrified right now.
Yeah.
Aw.
So so like so when it came to the night, like this was happening like for like a couple of weeks, and I thought like maybe like the lamp's faulty or something. And when I'm like sleeping, I just turn the lamp off or just keep it on like the lowest setting so it's not like blinding my face. And suddenly the intensity got up.
Oh
It went up
no.
to 2, and I'm like bolts out of my door, bolts out of my bed. Luckily, my parents were like watching TV, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
my lamp keeps turning on by itself, and it just did something.
Oh.
My dad's like, what? My mom's like, excuse me. So like we turned it off. We like unplugged it, and then my dad thought like, okay, maybe something's wrong with with like the wiring or something. Nothing. He took it to like the house's like the repairman. It's like nothing's wrong with the fuse or anything. The wiring's fine.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he's just like looking at the lamp with this look saying that, are you terrorizing my daughter?
Using the
Papa
Daphne
Nico.
voice.
What do you want from my
Papa
family?
Nico's like, are you terrorizing my daughter while holding the lamp?
We got some concerned popcorn eating in chat.
Same.
So-
Nervous.
So what he decided was that he decided to turn it on in his room, in like my parents' room. So when they were sleeping, he just like had it off. And like when he and my parents like fell asleep, like he was like half asleep, and he like in his dream he saw someone, an old lady,
Oh my
coming and
goodness.
tapping on
Oh,
the
God.
lamp.
Oh God.
Oh no.
And he woke
Oh.
up and
I
like
don't like
the
this.
lamp was on.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh.
Don't
And
like
then
that.
he's like, yeah, and then I'm just like, like when I had that lambda, I had terrifying nightmares. Like sometimes I could feel like I'm just like hovering over my body, and I'm like, shit, I can't get back in.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
Body broke.
Oh.
Lamp haunted. Cox gun.
Lamp
Lamp haunted.
Cox
Grandma
gun.
lamp haunted. And
Lamp
it's a modern lamp. It's a modern lamp.
No. So that reminds
And then
me.
like,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. No, go.
Oh, I was gonna get into a story, so finish what you're saying before I go off on a tangent.
Yeah. So like, my family, like we are like, well, my country is Buddhist, so like we have like a family priest of sorts, and my dad just like asked like, is this lamp haunted? Is someone like bothering my child? Because I'm also asking like, who's who's using the lamp like Morse coding me?
Is there a crazy bitch in this lamp? Because if so, I want her out.
Get her out of
Yeah, so then get out. Yeet this ghost. So
Please.
yeah, so like we asked the priest and the priest was like saying like she said yes, someone is like trying to communicate with you guys, so and it's not a friendly person.
Oh
And
no.
like yeah, so like apparently it was just like a warning sign that that thing was like close by and the lamp would just turn on. So it's almost like it's like a signal that someone is in here.
Oh,
That's like freaky.
that's scary.
So it wasn't
And like
haunting the lamp, it was haunting your house, but like the lamp was
Reacting.
more
like triggered
sensitive
by
to
it.
like the energy. Yeah, I think like I remember some people saying like spirits have like some kind of a, like electricity to them or something. So like when
Yeah.
like, that's why like lights go out or like bulbs explode. Because my dad, he got a prayer from the priest, and we the two of us was like doing like a small ritual to like eat this ghost out. The lamp does not work anymore.
Oh.
Ooh.
The bulb exploded.
Oh no. Oh no.
I hate
That's
this.
I'm serious. I was like,
I would never sleep
we were
again.
I was no, luckily like because I heard something like tick, like you know, like a little bulb exploding in my room. I'm like, what is that? My dad just like both of us just went in. There's smoke coming
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
from like the and my
no.
laptop is connected. I was like, shit. Oh no.
Oh,
Damn.
dang.
Oh
So
my
And
scary.
so like we quickly like unplugged everything and just like checked because like I just got a brand new laptop and I'm not having a demon like destroy it.
Stay away from my laptop.
Uh,
You can have the lamp, but the laptop is mine.
So like it doesn't work anymore. Like we got it fixed, we got a new bulb, but it doesn't turn on anymore.
Ah.
Like
That's
it won't respond to touch, it won't respond to like anything, and I'm just like, oh no. And my dad's like, yeah, it just kind of left because now the warning sign is gone and like the lamp the lamp just broke.
the lamp is like, I served my purpose. The lady left.
Delete
Good.
stuff.
It's just messed up, man. Like Sri Lanka, like I'm from Sri Lanka though, so like we have like insane kind of like demon lore and like
Mhm.
I'll link onto the chat like what I'm talking about because like we have
Oh yeah.
like this one lady ghost. She comes in like this white we call it a sari. I think you see it in like you can search it on Google though. So
Yeah.
it's like this pale white sari and she's like holding her baby. So it says that she will appear in the middle of the night on like lonely roads, and if a dude is like driving and like mysteriously their cars would stop and she would come out of nowhere and like ask the man, "Hey, can you like hold my baby for a second though? I just want to like call my husband, right? Just call. I just want to like look for my husband." And then like the dude is like, "Okay, sure," but most of the time men are assholes, so they'll probably reject. And so no offense to anyone, sorry. But like so like anyway, so the like if you reject, the baby would just like jump at you like a face hugger and just like eat your face.
Oh no.
Ew.
Not
Yeah,
good.
so like yeah, not good. But if you like, I mean, either way, even if you like hold the baby, it's like come on, like it's just holding a baby, and then if you look at the baby, like the baby will still be a face hugger and eat your face. So you lose either way.
That reminds me of this Japanese one. It's similar, except it's about this lady where she asks you a question of,
Oh yeah.
do you
Is she
think I'm
pretty? Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kuchisake onna.
Yeah, the slit-mouthed woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It's
so. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
There are different ways, like depending on who's telling the story, there are different ways to get out of it. The one that I hear most often is that like so she asks you, and you'll usually say yes before she takes the thing off and reveals that she has a slit open mouth. And she'll ask again. And so the one that I hear most often to like get out of it is you don't say yes, you don't say no, you say well, so you look fine. Act like you're not super enthused, and I guess she like won't know how to respond.
Just casual.
It's
I
just
just
too
want to be
socially
friends.
awkward to be creepy.
I know one of the alternatives was just to throw candy at her
Mhm.
and just run while she's distracted.
Yeah.
Yes, because she'll take the
goodness.
candy. She'll eat the sweets.
Yeah, there's it's one of those that there's different versions of the story. Actually, the thing that inspired me to do this collab was that I was listening to, I found a couple of podcasts. One is called Koabana. Let me see if I can find the name of the other one real quick. But they translate like Japanese urban legends and also like things that people tell on blogs and like on 2channel. Basically Japanese creepypasta. And I really like stuff like that, and I kept listening to it, and I was like, I want to get people together and just tell stories like this, because I love the atmosphere of
Your voice
Remy
cut out.
Oh no!
did my voice
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having some connection
Yeah,
issues.
just got.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, good. But yeah, like I loved like the atmosphere of just like getting together and like telling personal stories and like things that
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe they happen, but it's nice to suspend your disbelief a little bit and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Well, I've
personal
got
touch.
something that definitely did happen, whether or not you believe in ghosts or like cryptids or anything. If you'd like, it's just in the genre of the ocean is scary.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, the
I-
ocean
I've
is terrifying.
Tell us
I've
about the
also
scary
got-
ocean.
Okay,
Eh.
so for Thanksgiving one year, we went to the Keys. Like I said, I live in Florida. We didn't really want to have a regular Thanksgiving, so we went down to the Keys. And one of the days that we're in the Keys, I want to go snorkeling. I love to snorkel. I love to look at fish. One of my special interests is marine biology, and I love it. And my brother wants to go fishing, and we have one free day. So we find one person that does both, does deep sea fishing and snorkeling. We'll take you out to snorkel, and then we'll take you to go fishing. And so we were like, perfect, and did that. I love snorkeling so much. I cannot stress this enough. Like, so even when they started fishing, I was just very aware of where the line was. He drove us to a reef, and we did snorkel. And by the way, like snorkeling can be extremely scary just in itself. Once I almost got stung by a jellyfish just because, like, it's a translucent thing hanging around, and you just don't see it. You don't notice. I almost went head first into it. But yeah, so I went to so we finished snorkeling at the reef, and he took us to the fishing spot. And I like still had my flippers on and my snorkel, and I was like on the side of the boat, like looking at all of the fish like hanging out around, because he kind of like put a bunch of food in the water so that we could get like the idea is you start with like a small bait, and then you catch a fish, and then you use that fish as bait, and then you catch another fish and use that fish as bait, and then you get something that like actually has a lot of meat on it. And so we were on that last step. And they put it out into the ocean, did a really, really long cast. I don't know if you've ever seen deep sea fishing, but it's like 300 feet. Like it's a long cast. And I was sitting on the side of the boat with my flipper still on, just kind of hanging out with the fish. And we got a bite, and like the first thing a fish does when it notices it's caught is it like just goes really fast. And the idea is you let it tire itself out. So it went, and was like pulling the line and everything. And then like suddenly like it stopped. We started reeling it in, and we couldn't reel it in at all. The line was completely like taut and like just stuck. And I'm the only person that's still in scuba gear. And the guy is like, "Oh man, I really want to like when you're in the industry of like independent people doing boats, they want to have good experience because that's their main marketing tool, is to make sure that they give you the experience that they promised, which was a deep sea fish, and not a deep sea fish obviously, but like fly fishing and that. And so it was stuck on something. It wasn't it wasn't struggling anymore, it was just taut and tight. And the guy says, "Hey, you still have your snorkels on, your snorkel and your flippers on. Can you go dislodge it? Can you go see if you can unhook it?" And I was like, but like my brother really wanted this, and everybody was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be able to catch a fish if we don't do this." And so I was like, okay. Because a whole other thing was we were going to have like the like cleaning a fish class afterwards to clean our own fish, and then we were going to eat our own fish that we caught, and it was a big deal. And so I swim out into the open ocean, which is really scary. It's so big, but all you can see is just like blue fog all around you, and there's nothing, you can't see anything. And I have the line in my hand, like between two fingers, and I'm following it. I'm following the fishing line, and suddenly, I don't know how, because like the more I think about like this physics wise, the more it doesn't make sense, but like there was a point where the line just went straight down, and I am like, okay, this is probably where the rock is that the line is stuck on. So I start to kind of try to like move this very taut fishing line like around, and then all I see, because it's so deep, is just movement. I don't even see a shape, but I see movement, and like I don't know what size it is or anything. I can't see, like I can't make out like an outline or anything. I just can tell like that the blue moved.
Oh dear.
And I do it again,
Oh.
and it dislodges for a second, and I see like a shadow all the way deep down in, but like just for a second, and then it lodges itself onto something else. And it's good, but like the thing is, because here's the thing, like it was stuck, like the fish itself couldn't move. The fish couldn't move, the line couldn't move. They were stuck. But the thing is, I didn't know that it lodged itself back on, because my dad will say he has never seen anyone swim as fast as I did. As I swam back, I was swimming back so fast, I was like, there's a shark. I'm gonna die.
I would too. Of course, I would.
Julep going for the gold.
When it dislodged, I swam back so fast, and then I got back, and they were like, "You didn't do it." And I was like, "I don't wanna. I can't."
Oh man. Like I don't trust any water that I can't see to the bottom of, so I would be like, I can't swim. I can't even swim other than doggy paddling. I don't like the water, and if I can't see it, I don't trust it. So that is terrifying to me.
Snorkeling is perfect for doggy paddling. Snorkeling is really fun. Although the first time I went snorkeling, my dad and I went too far out, and there was a drop off.
Oh no.
And like, there's just something so scary. It's like heights, but just the bigness of like, just like suddenly there's no floor. Suddenly you're just in a void. And it's like there's floor behind you, but there's no floor. anywhere. It's just water and then sky, and then that's it. That's all you get. There's
That's
nothing.
it.
And the open ocean is so scary because there's just nothing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That
that's
is
my
definitely
one of
true.
the scariest moments of my life is just swimming back thinking that this thing is gonna get me.
Oh.
And I didn't even know what it was.
Oh, that is so scary. Thank you, Hunter and Vegas. Thanks for stopping in and supporting us.
Cute.
Oh, that's my
Oh,
that's
hey,
my fiance.
Kami.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Kami. It's
hello.
my friend here.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, that's my the ocean is scary thing. I have other ocean is scary moments, but that was my scariest one.
That is very scary. So the story that that Daphne's story reminded me of a little bit. So it reminds me of something that oh thank you for coming, Uchiha Slayer.
We have a tier
Oh,
3
hey, Sean.
simp for Shahana.
Yay, we got Simpson chat.
Yep.
I would love to do a Subnautica stream. I will scream all the time, but
Oh,
it's fine.
man.
Hi, Snapper. I love
Yeah,
you.
I'm
I would
kind
be
of curious
terrified,
about
but-
Subnautica too. So
We should do it together so we can scream together.
yay!
Oh, that'd be
yeah,
fun.
that would be fun. But
I
so
think like the best screaming. Oh yeah, go.
oh sorry. So the thing
Sorry,
that your
sorry.
story reminded me of, it's not like the proper story, but it's kind of a background piece. So I was very, very, very afraid of dolls when I was a child. And if you know me, this might seem weird because now I love dolls and I collect dolls, especially ball jointed dolls, which are the scariest dolls. I love
With the
them.
glass eyes too. Rem,
My-
you kill me.
All jointed dolls are great.
Yeah, my friend like calls me a literal horror character for having these dolls. But when I was a child, I was terrified of dolls. Baby dolls were okay until I got this baby doll that made noise. And like, you know, that was fine, but it started making noise when you turn the lights off. It was not supposed to do that.
No.
It would laugh when you turn the lights off.
What the fuck?
So then baby dolls were also scary. But so, you know, when you're a little girl, people buy you dolls for Christmas. You don't ask for them, they just keep giving you dolls. And so they would always give me porcelain dolls, and those were the scariest because they looked the most realistic. Yeah, so they would always give me porcelain dolls. And so there was one that was like as tall as me at the time, and I would not let my parents put it in my room. I was like, nope, put it somewhere else. So they put it downstairs, and which was not great either because for a story I'll tell later, I was very afraid of the downstairs too, so that just made it worse. But eventually I was given a porcelain doll, and I was still afraid of her, but she was also very pretty. So I named her after one of my aunts who I thought was very pretty, and I thought they looked similar. And my aunt's name was Angel, so I named this doll Angel. And I was very scared of Angel, but I let her sit on my dresser, and just tried not to look at Angel. But one day
she's pretty, but also I'm scared.
Exactly, yes. So one day I did look at Angel, and I swore up and down that I saw Angel blink. It was terrifying. It was so scary. And so like as an adult, I'm like, okay, that was probably just my imagination. But when I was a child, I thought I saw it, and I was terrified. So I continued to try to not look at Angel at all, if at all possible. But one day, I can't remember, like something shook in the room or something. Like, I don't know, Angel fell off my dresser and her face broke.
Oh god.
I was so afraid of Angel that I could not throw her away. I put her in a box underneath my bed because I was afraid to throw her away. And I just put her, like I was burying her in a box underneath my bed.
Got her a little coffin and everything.
She was there until I was an adult. I forgot about her. And one day I opened this box up, and this doll that terrified me was, this broken doll was still in this box. I don't know where she is now. I can't remember if I was able to throw her away either. Even then, I might have just put her back.
Oh no.
It was so
Oh my
scary though.
Slowly close it back and just like push it back under the bed.
Just
Yep.
just open it up. Well, there's a bit of childhood trauma. Close it, put it back.
Yep.
We're gonna just put that right back.
Yep. Put
where
that
it
right
came
back
from.
where we found it. I might have been able to throw it away at that point, but I'm not really sure. I don't remember.
You don't
my
remember. It's
God.
blocked out of
It's-
your memory.
Yeah, just nope. Not gonna
Just a
think about
complete
that.
memory hole there.
Yep.
Oh my god. So I've got a slate because we were talking about superstitions and stuff like that. But you know those stupid games, like, okay, the one I'm going to be talking about particularly is light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so my sister, for her, I think it was 11th or 12th birthday, wanted to do a sleepover, right? And I was grueling the whole thing. We were living in an apartment in Texas. But I was grueling the whole thing the entire time because she just had a bunch of her friends over and it was, a standard sleepover. God, I remember Usher blaring because she got the new Usher CD for her birthday or whatever. And anyways, I'm trying to chill in my room, but they were coming in there. They were coming into my room, and I'm like, why? And they were like, well, we got to get it dark enough because we're going to play a game. Now, we weren't allowed to have Ouija boards or anything like that, but they remembered the game. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. And what you do is you place your hands lightly under the person you're going to lift, and you do a little seance, and you keep saying it over and over while their arms are crossed over their chest and they're flat on their back, and go over and over, light as a feather, stiff as a board. And I was like, whatever, this could be funny, and we decide to do it. And so we're getting into this. We all close our eyes and we just go over and over, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. And we do that about maybe 20, 30 times. And sure enough, the girl who was under our hand, we all simultaneously felt her lift off our hands about 2 inches, 3 inches. And it was enough lift that when we pulled our hands away, you could actually hear her kind of thump against the floor as we all ran out of the room.
Oh my
It
god.
was so fucking scary.
That does sound really scary. I never
I've never
played
done
that
that.
one. But the game that I have played, or at least like I had other people do it for me because I didn't know the words to it. But do y'all know Concentrate?
No.
No,
Okay, I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it's really, really long, but let me pull up the. So, and
Wait, is it the thing where you put the? Go
Like-
ahead.
like crack an egg on your head? That's what a lot of people remember, that part of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so it's
spiders down your back. Spiders down your back.
yeah. So the thing about this is it is a game to divine the way that you're going to die, but some people like it because it passed around just from kid to kid on playgrounds. So sometimes it doesn't have the creepy parts in it, and it's just the parts where you're like touching the person in different ways. Like I'll explain in a second when I pull it up. But so sometimes like some kids don't actually have the creepy parts in the ones that they grew up playing. But it is a death divination game, is what it is. And if you have the refrain in
I
it,
know this. This is scary.
the refrain is concentrate on what I'm saying. People are dying, children are crying, concentrate. And you do that in between each verse. And so the verses, like, so the first one is crack an egg on your head, let the yolk run down. And when you say that, you like lightly tap their head with your fist and then run your fingers down the back of their head. And then you repeat the refrain and then the whole thing is crack an egg on your head, let the yolk run down, let the chills run up, let the yolk run down. And then the next one is squeeze oranges on your shoulders, let the juice run down. And you keep going like that. But then at the very end, you like hold their arms and you lean in and you say you're standing on a building, you're out on the ledge, you're feeling very dizzy, you're close to the edge, and someone pushes you, and then you push them a little, not enough to push them over, but you push them a little bit just so that they lose their balance. And they're supposed to see a color, and the color that they see is supposed to determine how they're going to die. So red means they'll die by stabbing, blue means they'll die by drowning, yellow means they'll die by poison. I think I've heard purple for that too. Orange will die by fire, green is falling, purple, and this is asphyxiation, gray is illness, white means they will die of old age and go to heaven, black means they will die of old age but go to hell, and brown means they'll be buried alive. So yeah, and so I had played this when I was a kid, and I don't know if mine, I feel like I remember the color part, but I just didn't think of it a rainbow. Like when I close my eyes, I see multiple colors, so I don't know what to do with that one.
It's just like everything is happening at
I will
once.
simultaneously be poisoned, asphyxiated, and buried alive. But yeah, so like
I mean, that makes sense because you are asphyxiated
Like-
when you are buried alive.
That's true. That is how you generally die. So, but yeah, so like I played that when I was a kid, and I didn't think about it as a scary thing until much, much later, and I was like, wait a minute, that's pretty
literally-
creepy.
You literally
Fucked up.
just, like, I did not know about this beforehand, but I 100% have had people play that with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like, what color did I see? Oh no!
Yeah, I don't remember, like, I just remember the parts where they were touching me because I liked when people touched my hair and my back and stuff, so I
Big
liked playing
mood.
it. That's all I remember.
That's dark.
That was the important part. But yeah, I definitely have played that in my childhood and just didn't think about it. Oh yes, as Archie says, terminal homosexuality. I've always been a touch-starved gay. I was born that way.
She might be watching, or she might not. She said she would be coming in and out. But I grew up with my best
Oh, I
friend,
see.
who I'm gonna call Maria. And she, we were talking about the dolls. Her grandmother gave her a porcelain doll every year until her quinceañera. And her room was lined with porcelain dolls. I would be a little bit scared of it, but I eventually learned out of it because I liked hanging out with my friend more than I disliked the room. But she also had a wind chime in the room that would just sometimes ring for no reason. But before, but the other thing is, like, I was very raised conservative Christian, and her mom was New Age. So I would go to her house and like get saged or like they would play with the Ouija board. But of course her mom was kind of like this specific kind of New Age where it's like, it's not a Ouija board, it's an angel board.
I
And it's
see.
like, okay.
Okay.
And so like this was like, and also like I would learn about auras and stuff like that over at her house. And we there was one time where we did do the Ouija board, and we used it, and it was scary. It did feel like it was really moving on its own. And at one point, like, Vanessa said, "Are you lying?" And it went to yes. And Vanessa was like, "No, out. None of that. Not allowed."
No ghost lies.
Just like
No.
But yeah, like, she's definitely Maria is definitely like the person that really helped me with like learning about that side of spirituality. And now I'm kind of more like, I'm still a Christian, but I'm obviously not conservative. Gestures at my pronouns. And then like, but like I have a lot more like supernatural or superstitious things. I do tarot and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a ton of stories. Like, there was one time that she saw floating eyes in her
Oh,
house
no,
during
no,
the
no,
like
no,
red
no,
eyes.
No, 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 no. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go away.
Oh,
It was
no. I can't stand eyes. No, nothing to do
No,
with
no, no, no,
eyes.
no, no.
that would be really.
yeah.
Speaking of Ouija boards, though, when I was before I came back to Australia, my friend who actually owned a Ouija board in SL, so she's like, "Can I bring this to like to the lunch party, like my leaving party?" And I was like, "I just be careful, please, when you're coming over to my place." And then she's like, "Oh no, don't worry, I don't believe in this stuff though." And I'm like, "Cool, I do though." But so she's on the way, and like if she keeps like she got late actually, but when she
Mhm.
like finally came in, and like just as she like got off the car, the board looks like it got slapped out of her hand, and it snapped in half the moment it landed on my like when she like stepped out into like our gate, and I'm just like,
Your
what
house
just
said
happened?
no.
It's like
Don't want that.
it just snapped in half. The planchette shattered like into tiny. It's like that little tiny thing. Like it just shattered into like pieces. I'm just like, oh shit, that's like a lot of glass to clean up.
Oh, outside
And
too,
then I'm
so you
like, oh
can't
my
vacuum.
god. He's like, oh my god. He's like, oh my god, Daphne, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll clean up this mess. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not touching anything though. And then my dad comes out and he sees the board and he's like, what the hell? Who is bringing demons here?
Oh,
Who's
man.
in here summoning demons? We can't afford demons. We already pay enough on the expenses.
Pretty much. Pretty
Demons
much,
have
Papa
to pay
Nico.
rent to occupy our house, please.
Yeah, pretty much
Oh,
Papa Nico
man.
is like, Papa Nico is pretty much like, I actually, when I was little though, my mom was like the more believer into all these stuff though, and my dad was like, "Nah, that's just like there's a logical reason." And then suddenly, like it got switched. My mom doesn't believe in that stuff anymore, but my dad like he like believes in it, and I believe in it too though. Because after the lamp incident, I'm like,
Mm.
uh-oh.
Yeah, I understand. I'm very agnostic. I just don't know, and I will never know.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Best
like,
not to know. That's it. It's best not to know.
yeah,
Mhm.
it may be better not to know. But so
Yeah,
my
like I mean, like yeah, go on.
my mom is also kind of a new agey person. So like the reason that I love tarot so much is when I was a little kid, I found one of her tarot decks and I didn't know what it was, but the pictures just like spoke to me. So I love tarot ever
Absolutely.
since that day.
Admittedly, like I know in some ways I am pretty skeptical about stuff. I know Ouija boards as far as their intended use.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I'm kind of disillusioned, admittedly, about Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
I'm
never
the
But
Like
Go ahead.
but like sorry, but I know that it's like kind of dangerous. I like you got that sixth gut feeling that like the sixth sense telling you like just not don't touch it.
I mean, like, I know one of the instructions in using one is not to use it alone. And, like, the reason for that is because it doesn't work properly. Because, you know, I hear all about, like, the way that planchets move seemingly on their own is, like, it's kind of a subconscious thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in a group, like, no matter how still you try to keep yourself, you're always just gonna move bit by bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, it's
that
kinda like
collective like moves the planchet like as a collective. It's so like that's why it doesn't work when you're alone.
In my personal practice, I still use pendulums, and I don't know if I should mention that I have something like OSDD or DID, so I do have like different parts of my personality that are different people. just because of a developmental disorder and everything like that.
Mhm.
So honestly, I'm not sure if like Maria's mom would say it would be my guardian angel talking to me with when I use the pendulum, which is just like honestly a weighted rock on a string. When you start using a pendulum, you kind of just like say, show me yes, show me no, show me maybe.
Yeah.
And then you ask it questions and it'll swing in directions that you've already determined. But here's the thing, like what I actually use it for, whether or not, now as a person with DID, this is a way that a lot of people talk to their other parts that can't really speak in their brain.
Mhm.
But also I even if I'm talking to my subconscious, because it is done by those like minuscule movements that you can't really control. But yeah, so the so that I do like I use it as a way to like kind of get advice. I don't always see it as like, oh, I'm like communicating with like God or my guardian angel
Yeah.
or anything like that, but sometimes it definitely does feel like, okay, I need to like really know what my gut feeling is on this topic and really like communicate with that part of myself. So and that's how I kind of try to approach tarot and Ouija boards as well, is just like, okay, like if I can get advice or if I can get a message out of this, then that would be great. Ouija boards might be really helpful for like talking with friends when you're like arguing. So like your collective unconscious can like be the third person. So like that's kind of how I think of it, is like even if it's all in your brain, we still don't understand everything about how the brain works. So
Yeah.
it's like a way to connect with that part of you that you can't really do that.
Julep, have you ever heard of tulpas?
Yes, I have. I'm very new to understanding that, like, for most of my life I've been trying to pretend to be neurotypical. so I'm very new to like treating my DID like an actual thing and actually like talking about it. But I do have friends that like do tulpamancy and things like that. And I'm looking into it.
So the guardian
It's really
angel thing.
interesting.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the guardian
Thank you.
angel thing reminds me of a thing that I did. I'd say I was probably about like 12 or 13. And so like the thing was, my mom was into new agey stuff, so I knew about it, and I saw, I think it was either like in a magazine she had or one that, like, I was at a hospital the first time that I did it. So it might have been a magazine that was in the hospital, but it was like, I think it was a magazine that was at the hospital, and I was in the waiting room, and there were like instructions for contacting your guardian angel, and I was bored, so I was like, okay, let's do that. And so I went through it, and it was basically like, you know, asking if anybody's there, and like I got a response in my head. Now, to this day, I don't really believe that there was anything else. I think like when I roleplayed and stuff, I would like talk to my characters in my head and everything like that. So that was really easy for me to do. So that's probably all it was. But so I did the instructions and I got a response like yes. And so the next thing was to ask what the name was. The name I was given was BLs. Which
BLs?
Yes, BLs, which is very close to Beelzebub, so I was really, really afraid for a minute. Like, holy crap. And, but then he was like, no, like, it's fine, it's not. he wasn't,
no,
like...
not that.
Not that one. So,
not the Fly Lord, please.
Not that one. So, and actually, BLs was very nice. He didn't, like, talk in a lot of words, but like he was there and he was a comforting presence. But that first, like, it was really scary. And again, I don't think that was really anything. I think that was just me being able to do that because of like the way that I roleplayed and stuff. But At the time, it was quite scary for a sec. Until I was like, oh,
I
he's
remember this
actually
like
nice.
it's like that one. I saw this one post yesterday. It's like, I announce you a man and record skip anime body pillow. It's almost like Rem is just like, oh, this is my guardian name, Beelzebub.
Yeah. Yes.
You sure you
It's
got
just the
this?
record skip just happened in your mind. It's like,
That's so scary. Like, for the record, the lying demon or spirit or subconscious being we had made with the Ouija board had named itself Lamb, and
Oh.
as a like lamb, like Lamb,
Oh.
and of course, like I'm conservative Christian, I'm like the Lamb of God, Jesus. Like the Beyonce meme, but Jesus. Like, so that is it's funny with like those names can like have very gut reactions to it.
Yeah. But he was actually nice and just kind of hung around. It was fine.
That's
but
cool.
It was very scary at first.
See, when you said BLs, I thought like boys love things because
What the hell?
boys love animes like BLs.
BLs.
Okay,
She's just
so
tempting you with like those doujinshis or whatever they're called.
I wasn't a BL at the
Yep.
time, to be honest. But I got into it because there was no Yuri to be found at the time, and I was like, well, this is at least gay.
Big mood. Lillian in the comments on YouTube is saying someone was knocking at the door and me and my sister peeked out the window and there was an old man. We didn't answer because we were scared, and we called our mom because we didn't know what to do, and the man was knocking harder and we kind of locked ourselves in the room, and then we're gonna type another sentence because there's no space. We're on the edge of our seats, Lillian.
Yes, tell us what
Yes,
happened.
where's the rest of
Faster.
the story?
I know that, we were talking about like divination and I actually have dabbled a little bit in witchcraft. I haven't really done too much. I know I did do like the pendulum thing, mainly just I was intending like to use it like for more practical purposes, like maybe finding something I lost or something. And but I did otherwise do a jar spell. And for anyone like kind of out of the loop, like what a jar spell basically is I mean, you use a jar as a catalyst to cast a spell, obviously, but like it's really important like the things you put in it and then like what you do with it. So something that comes up a lot in witchcraft circles is a rule of 3. And the way that works is basically for any spell you cast with some kind of intent, you should expect 3 times the result of the spell to happen to you. And so that's kind of a way to encourage like witches to cast good spells and like good fortune and particularly like casting the spell upon ourselves and not other people. But as far as this jar spell that I cast, just I think for the sake of you know, like anonymity and privacy, I won't say all of exactly like who it involved, and you know, to an extent it also might be kind of triggering, so I'm going to omit the exact reason or like what I intended the spell to do, but basically what I needed to do was like, for exactly what I wanted it to do, it needed to take like a lot of supposed like magic power. So like I would fill the jar with like with appropriate minerals and stuff, as well as salt water, and I also drew up a sigil
Oh.
and charged that up properly. Like sigils can pretty much be used on their own, but like I felt like a jar spell would have been more effective, like by far. You know, and then I would also fill it with like a whole bunch of spices. And when I was done with it, oh boy, it stunk. It, uh, it, it was awful, like trying to clean it out. But like, I think another part was like I had to pay attention to like lunar cycles because like depending on what phase the moon is in, like certain kinds of magic energies would like be at their peak. And the two most critical, of course, are the new moon and the full moon. Full moon can be used for like generally any purpose, but like should only be saved for like it's urgent, like it's serious. And then the new moon is kind of similar, except it's purely in like destructive energies, like it's trying to banish curses or stuff like that. And I think I did mine on the new moon, so like the spell I was trying to cast, like obviously it was for something very, very serious. And like the point was like once you have everything put together, like you might you know, perform a ritual to like shake it around a bit, as well as like chant incantations around it. And then like after all is said and done, you just like put it in a drawer somewhere or like bury it and then forget about it. And I, you know, obviously like I don't know every detail about the circumstances regarding like the person that I wanted to cast a spell for, but it, you know, just for the sake of like ease of mind, like it actually did kind of work.
Oh.
There was a Twitter thread where people were like, tell me about like your worst exes and I'll give you a curse for them. And like a lot of them were like funny or like small. And so I don't remember what I said about my ex, but he was a horrible person. And I like posted something, responded, and they had like go to the wood, burn a twig, write on a leaf like his first and last name, and then his name will be forgotten by everyone. And like that's so much more severe than I needed. Sometimes forgiveness is fine too. Well, not really forgiveness. Sometimes just like getting a person out of your life is fine. You don't need to curse them to like everyone to forgive them. It was so scary. I was just like, that's a little too much. Thank you. Also, I don't know how they knew that he was so bad, but yeah.
I remember like Papa Nico telling me like never curse because like it's a two-way street. Oh, it's like not a two-way street, it's like a double-edged sword. Because it'll come back to you, even if like there's like some kind of like a reaction kind of energy. Like even if the person like gets the curse, you're also gonna suffer because it's like eating away your life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like
There's
my
kind of like
mom, yeah, like my mom like always told me, like Mama Nika also told me like never get too angry, because I got pissed off once at my cousin and then suddenly the blender exploded in front of her. Luckily it wasn't hot. It was just pasta sauce. And
Yeah.
like well, she deserved it though, but like still my mom, like Mama Nico told me like Daphne, don't be like, don't think with like such negative energy, because like most of us don't know that like our like emotions are like really strong,
Mm.
and what if it'll like influence the environment.
Mm.
So like she told me like curses in that way is also like that, because you're sending that negative energy out and harming
Mm-hmm.
that person. And so that there's like in Buddhism we have like karma. So that karma like straight away, like does not, sometimes not straight away, but it like basically eats you from inside, like the guilt.
Mm.
Mm.
Like sometimes like you won't realize that you've done it, but when you realize it, you're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's just like that's the thing.
that's like similar to the rule of three in New Age witchcraft. I was always really scared to do sigils. That reminded me. I was scared to do sigils because I would read that they were like too powerful, and I was like, oh no, what if I like I don't really believe, but what if I do something bad? I don't want to do that.
Yeah, the gut feeling is good to have. The gut feeling is good because sigils are like another ball game.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
because you're
also
summoning them to come. It's like it's imagine like this. Like a sigil is basically a phone booth, and you're just calling them, and they will just like drive. They'll just drive up as your Uber.
Yeah. I know that my roommate does chaos magic with sigils and stuff like that, but it's like an intensely personal practice, um, to the point where it's like to charge them up, like you jerk off. So it's so like I haven't seen it be bad, but it's definitely something else.
I know in regards to like spell components, like any sort of like, you know, you might hear somebody talk about like, oh, in order to make a spell even stronger, like you need to like cut yourself and put in a drip of blood. What but it's more like any sort of substance or like fluid that comes from the body has an equal like boost potential. So like you don't have to use blood. You could otherwise like use semen or sweat or saliva.
Spit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Or like
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
in some cases even like urine.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that one thing that I will do, and this is just like a thing that I do, but when I'm a person that knits, and when I'm knitting, if I'm knitting for someone, specifically if I'm knitting a baby blanket or a baby item, as I'm knitting, I'm like I try to keep my thoughts focused on like good feelings and warmth and like family feelings. And I will always like tie a piece of my hair into the yarn, even though it's like I will
Aw.
pluck a hair and like tie it onto the yarn and knit it into the piece. And like my friends are like, why? Why would you do this? Why is there hair? And like it isn't noticeable. They can't find it, but they know it's there.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Like my
Really
hair
sweet, though.
breaks. Oh, sorry. My hair breaks really often. I have like curly hair, so it's also a bit fragile and it breaks a lot. So I'm like, God, if anyone wanted to curse me, they have it made. You just gotta wait like 5 seconds for my hair to come off somewhere.
Same.
Also, what's happening on the chat?
that's one of my regulars on YouTube. She asked if I would like her to make fan art, which would be really cool if she wants to do that, but she's not sure how to like get it to me, so I'm trying to help her figure out how to how to get it to me if she makes
Aw.
it. But yeah, Lillian stops by my videos. She's sweet.
Oh, that's cute.
And there was an end to her story.
Oh yes, it was actually so her sister thought that the guy outside had a gun and told her to hide under the bed, but then she realized that it actually like it wasn't a gun, it was something else, and it was actually their grandpa, so they were safe. Luckily.
Oh good.
Your eyes can definitely play tricks on you when you're already scared and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it was just grandpa.
Yes, thank God.
I know that one time outside my house at night, there was like, it wasn't raining or anything, but I could have sworn there were camera flashes in the backyard. Like,
Ooh.
and I like saw it a bunch of times, and I like woke up my mom, and she was like, I was like, someone's taking pictures of our house.
Oh,
Someone's
no.
taking pictures of our house.
Good night,
We
Okami.
like, good night.
Good night,
we like looked and everything. There was no one there, and to this day I kind of feel like I saw like some like very small ball lightning at some point or something.
That's so scary.
Because it wasn't really making noise either. It was just like it looked like a camera flash. So it was very scary.
When you think about it, cameras are quiet nowadays, so
yeah.
That is very scary. So I can't remember it that well, but there was a time that I thought I saw lights. So like I lived up on it, like so you to get to our house you cross a bridge over a creek and then you drive a little bit back up a hill, and then at the bottom of the hill we had like a garden that was on the creek bed. So if you walked along the creek bed, you could get into there without actually like coming up our drive. And so there was one night that I thought I saw lights out there, and unfortunately it was also a night that I had accidentally caught some of Halloween. And so the thing about Halloween is that my mom really likes scary stories, but when I was very little, I could not see even a little bit of a scary movie, or I would have an anxiety attack all night. And I would like freak out so much, like it would just be terrible. So even when I was still a teenager, it was like that if I accidentally saw a little bit of Halloween. And that happened, and so I saw these lights outside, and I went and got my mom up, and like there was nothing there, and I slept in her bed even though I was like 14.
That's such a big nerd.
I was like, Mom, please. Please. Just this once.
Oh man.
It was so scary.
So I hate to dip out, but I am running on very low reserves for energy because of the medication I have to take.
Understandable.
It's understandable.
Yeah, and we're hitting about 2-hour mark here. But I am very happy to have been a part of this, and I am very happy to have met all of you. You're all very wonderful people.
Aww.
Thank you for being part of this. Your stories were really great, and yeah, like I've had so much fun doing this. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, this is very fun.
It's definitely.
Thank you for having us, though, Rem.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for hosting this. This is fantastic, and I would love to be a part of something like this again.
So, do you have time for? Because I've saved my best story for last. It's not very long, so
yeah. I do have time for that. I mean, I also could mention the abduction really quickly.
Oh yes, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it.
You're like, wait, the abduction. You got to talk about it. Okay. So the abduction happened in 1973 along a pier in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And it involved a person named Calvin Parker and Charles Hickinson. And I think it was October 11th, 1973. It was a 42-year-old guy named Charles Hickinson and 19-year-old Calvin Parker. And they told the Jackson County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office they were fishing off a pier near the west bank of Pascagoula River. And they heard this whirring and kind of like whizzing sound. Then they saw two flashing blue lights and saw like this oval object about 30-40 feet wide across and 8-10 feet above the ground, and then they suddenly got like knocked out. Is the best way they explained it. But they were conscious, but they were kind of like paralyzed, and they saw these three creatures kind of hovering over them with like robotic, very weird slit mouths and then crab-like pinchers, took them on their ship and subjected them to like this thorough examination. And when they were done, they put them back on the pier, and they woke up a few hours later, like out of their like, paralyzed state, and went straight to the sheriff about it. But what was so weird about like all of it is, they tried to bank in all of it. Whereas, most UFO like people, sightseers or whatever, don't tend to like bank in on it. It's very, very like weird how they tried to do this. And one skeptic had found like a bunch of discrepancies in Hickinson's story, and Hickinson, the older guy, refused to take a polygraph test and found a bunch of inconsistencies in his story. And another guy, skeptical investigator Joe Nickel, had wrote that Hickinson's behavior was questionable, and he later like started altering his claims. And Nickel had speculated that Hickinson had like fantasized the alien encounter during like a waking dream state, like sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And so they think there's just like a whole thing of like that Parker or kind of like corroborated it through like suggestion. Like they talked about it over fishing, was like, oh yeah, I've had something similar happen. But Parker is still alive and still goes to like the UFO conventions in Congress to talk about his story. And there's been like multiple books and shows made about the sighting that happened. And that's what Pascagoula, Mississippi is partly known for, about some other things too, like the Singing River and stuff like that too. So
cool.
Yeah, like, so another day, I went to do like a big stream on local cryptids. I am from West Virginia, if y'all didn't know. So we got Mothman, we got the Flatwoods Monster, and we have Men in Black sightings connected to Mothman. Possibly also Flatwoods Monster, I'm not sure. Definitely Mothman, though. We got the Grafton Monster, we got Snallygasters. There's all kinds of aliens and weird sightings in West Virginia for some reason.
They just hang out there.
Yeah.
They just hang, that's their home.
We've just got the swamp ape, and then like and then like the real animals that exist here.
Yeah,
the quote,
they're weird
real
enough.
Animals.
Oh, I forgot the sheep squatch, which I am not a sheep squatch.
What?
I am not a sheep squatch. It's also called the white thing. Like, it's just like a big woolly like sheep monster. It's called the sheep squatch.
Wisconsin has a few cryptids. Like Whitewater, Wisconsin is like known as the second Salem, and Hodag, and then there's the creature called the Hodag, which is really weird. Yeah.
Archie's mom has a poster of this Snallygaster.
Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
The Snallygaster is more of like a Maryland, Pennsylvania thing, but there have been sightings here too. But yeah, that is a real, at least purportedly real thing that people claim to have seen. Yes, it's not just made up. I know they're very strange. Let me pull up a description of a Snallygaster for those who don't know what that is.
The swamp ape has a little bit of an energy. The swamp ape has a little bit of an energy of like, haha, ocean, but like.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit.
But like the swamp ape has it has like, when you go to the Swamp Ape Research Center in the Everglades, like they kind of lean in on the kitschy side of things, but like there are people that are like, yeah, 100% there is a primate. There's at least like a primate that lives in the Everglades. We know this. We're pretty sure.
Nice.
Are you posted the poster?
I know I actually like heard of like the Everglades primate, but I heard it under the name of a skunk ape.
Yeah. That's also, it's called a skunk ape or a swamp ape. It's just a whole thing. That's our Sasquatch.
This is the hodag.
Oh dang!
It looks like one of those creatures from like Into the
Never-Ending
Wild.
Story.
What's that like really popular book? It's like a children's
Oh
book.
yeah,
The
yeah,
never-ending
no.
story, kind of.
That, but
Yeah,
also there's
yeah,
another
yeah.
one. I know. Yeah, there's like a children's book that looks
Where the
like
wild
that.
things are.
Wait, yes, that.
There's also the Mineral Point vampire, which is a weird one.
Ah.
I love vampires.
That's a very recent one. That happened in the 2000s.
Whoa.
So
Additionally, with I can't remember if it was Wisconsin or Michigan, but like I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Beast of Briar Road.
Ooh, that sounds
Oh.
cool.
Like the Beast of
Ooh.
Briar Road is.
That sounds like a good band name, though.
Yeah, that is a good fan.
oh yeah.
Like it's essentially like a local werewolf.
That's so cool.
I love
Yeah,
vampire
no.
werewolf like combo.
I would totally love to do like a folklore kind of creepy thing.
Yeah, we should
of
do
these
that as a chat. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd
That
be
would
cool.
be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Put that in the itinerary.
Stay tuned, you guys, for
Stay tuned,
for
though.
cryptid talks.
Cryptid time.
Cryptid
yeah.
talks will come. You'll have
love-
Sri Lanka's finest cryptids, such
Ah.
as a bear warrior.
Ooh.
oh
Aw.
god.
Actually, no, the story is sad but also hilarious at the same time. Okay, I'm just gonna like state out saying I'm not, because like I'm also superstitious here, like not making fun of him or anything though, but like the singular name that we call him is called Mahason. So the Mahason is how he was made, was that like he was a very strong warrior. And like he, after like a battle or something, like he and his friends were like drinking and he like passed out in the graveyard. And in the graveyard at the same time there was like a deity like passing by, and the deity thought like, haha, drunk dude, let me just switch his head for a bear's head. And so
Wow.
yeah, that's what happened though, and he woke up with a bear's head and like he went like
Aw,
crazy.
poor guy.
He's seen as like like this super macho dude, and like he has the head of a sloth bear, and like I'm just like, sloth bears are adorable.
They are.
Aw.
Like I'll show you like a picture of one of them though. It's just like, hold on, it's on the chat. It's just like it's not as big as a
Let me
regular brown bear or something. It's like dog sized.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it does
that's
look
so
like a dog.
cute.
It's
Aw,
a bear dog.
adorable.
So they just eat
dogs.
berries. They eat berries and grass. Like why?
Aw.
And the other cryptic is the ghost lady with the baby. Her name
yeah.
is the singular name that we call her is Mohini. So there's a Hindu god also named with the same name, but that's not connected though. This is like Sri Lanka's like cryptid slash
Yeah,
creepy lady.
creepy ghost lady.
Sorry, I'm trying to show these pictures, but I've got to pull them
This,
up and save
yeah,
them.
and there's also something called grease demon. Yeah.
And then
But
once
pretty
we're
much
done with
that's
that, we should
Yeah.
probably get to the big scary story I'm
Oh,
excited
yes.
for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope that it lives up. It was pretty scary when it happened. It is the only thing that I
sorry
think
to
back
chat.
on. Like, yeah, there's no explanation for that other than I maybe just imagined the whole thing. That's the only possible. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. But here, let me drag these images in here so we can show everybody.
living with DID is or OSDD. I haven't been diagnosed yet. Is sometimes like having like a friendly ghost that sometimes just takes over your body. So at one point, some of my headmates have one of my headmates named Brian has tried to take a picture of something because he thought it was funny, and he posted it in a chat, and I looked at it later, and it was a screenshot of the camera screen, which is so much harder to do than just taking a picture of on your phone. It's like, buddy, are you okay? Why did you do this? And then the most recent thing is that like last night, yeah, it was last night at 2 a.m. One of my headmates was like, "This bathroom's gross. I'm taking care of this," and just deep cleaned my bathroom. And I don't have any memory of doing it, but everybody was there, and he was like, "This is Wolf. I'm cleaning the bathroom because it's disgusting," and like, and just did the whole thing. And
He's
it's
just
like,
I have the
thanks.
spoon. I have the spoon. I shall do this.
For some reason, the sloth bear won't open up in OBS, but the Snallygaster is on the right. It's sideways, I'm sorry. But so the Snallygaster is like a long naked bird, like with a long tail and like tentacles in his beak. It's really freaking weird looking. That's the Snally. It just flies around being weird.
What a nasty little boy.
And then the other is what did you call this?
The hodag.
The hodag, yes.
The hodag.
Unfortunately, Sloth Bear won't open in OBS. But
check with the other photo I sent.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can get that one.
Oh, it's got a baby on its back.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like so sweet. They just eat berries and grass, and they just carry their babies.
If I saw a man with this head, I would be a little afraid because like a man with an animal head is a little bit scary, but I would also trust him.
You would trust
yeah.
a man with that face.
Okay, there's the sloth bear.
A sloth bear.
Yay. That's
and a baby sloth bear.
It's a little baby, just riding. But, okay,
so... heard of... Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I should probably get to my last story so that Sheh can go to bed.
It's probably like waiting. It's just waiting like, please, can I go?
I'm sorry.
I just really quickly wanted to ask, like, if y'all were familiar, like, with how to protect yourself against, like, brown bears or black bears.
I feel like you're supposed to be quiet and not run.
Isn't there one where you're just supposed to like lay down?
That is only for grizzly bears.
Grizzlies,
and stuff.
Okay.
In fact, because they only attack in self-defense, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
But black bears are like actually opportunistic, so you need to do the opposite. You need to jump up, yell, and make yourself look big and imposing.
Alligators can only run fast in one direction, so you are supposed to make big, wide zigzags. Alligators can run extremely, extremely fast, but they cannot turn fast. So if you're running away from an alligator, just zigzag.
Just start running in like full speed, like a zigzagoon.
That's your Florida tip for the day.
That's how you're supposed to like run if somebody has a gun too, so you can protect yourself from alligators and guns.
Alligators and guns.
An alligator with a gun.
An alligator with a gun.
All of our brain cells activated.
Yeah.
Alligator with a gun versus crab with a knife.
Oh no!
That one Hellboy comic. Is that an alligator? And he has a gun.
But so after that rather funny interlude, I would get to my scariest story, and this.
Yeah, I'm kind of hype.
So this happened when I was pretty young. I'm pretty sure I was in second grade because I remember that I was watching Arthur when it happened, and that's about when I watched Arthur, was in second grade. So that's my guess. So downstairs we had like a couch bed that we kept pulled out. My mom slept down there sometimes, and we had like a really big old TV. It was color. We got it at a churchyard sale. And so I was downstairs chilling alone. I don't know if anybody else was even home, or if they were like in another room in the house. Like, the house was pretty empty. So I was just laying on my stomach watching Arthur. And the downstairs is already pretty cold because it's got like a stone floor. So it was cold and just quiet and everything. And all of a sudden, to my left, it sounded like it was across the room. I heard like this big, booming, textbook ghostly moan. It was very loud and very deep. But there was nothing and no one there. It was so loud. It was like, oh, like that. Like, so loud. So obviously I jump up and run up the stairs as fast as human possible, like on all fours. I just go. Yeah. And so, like, after that, for a really, really long time, I didn't want to go back downstairs, and I would, you know, if I had to go down there, I would, like, you know, stay down there for as little time as possible, and I made my parents leave the light on at night, in case I ever had to go, because, like, the laundry was down there, so if I needed to go down and get clothes that had not been brought upstairs yet, I would have to go down there and get it. Or usually, like, socks. I would have to go down and get it. So I made my parents leave the light on, and, like, all the time. And I would, like, anytime I had to go, I would just run up the stairs so fast. But, you know, after a while, eventually I was like, it would probably been at least a year. I was like, it's, you know, I probably just imagined it. It's fine. You know, I'm just gonna go back to hanging out downstairs again. It happened again.
Oh god.
It happened a
Oh
second
my
time. And it
Oh my
was,
gosh.
yeah, it was so scary. The same thing happened again, and it never happened again after that. So, like, all our video games and stuff were downstairs, so I was forced to go down there sometimes. But
Oh no.
and it never happened again. But those 2 times, and it was like, I have no explanation, because it was definitely not something that could have been coming from the TV. Because first it was like across on the other side of the room, and it was just so much louder than anything. It was like someone was moaning at the top of their lungs. It was, I don't know.
That's so scary.
I don't know. Yeah, so I'm still, hi baby, I don't know if you heard that. She just meowed at me. My cat.
I didn't hear her, but we love her.
But yeah, it was super scary. Probably the scariest, like, non-explainable thing that's ever happened to me.
That is really scary, for sure.
Oh boy.
Well, good luck going to sleep, Sheh.
I've slept with creepier on my shoulders, trust me.
Good, good. Have a good night, sweet dreams. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
thank you so much, Rem.
Definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hosting this.
Yes, this was so much fun.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And next time we're going to talk about boys. And by boys, I mean cryptids.
The boy is Mothman.
The best boy.
Yes. I have. There's so many. I have especially something called the Grease Demon.
The Grease Demon.
Oh,
That sounds
So
interesting.
Archie is right.
Yeah,
Archie is right. I'm very hard to scare.
That's good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, don't share anymore. Keep us in suspense.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rem. This was really, really fun. And we're going to do it again, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a
Thank you
series.
so much, Rem, for hosting.
Thank you all for being here. It would not.
Thank you so much.
It would not have been nearly as good without y'all.
Thank you, Rem. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Julep. Thank you, Sheh.
Thank you, Issy.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
See you all later.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
And thanks everybody for
Bye.
watching.
Oh, by the way.
Thank you everyone for watching.
By the way, weren't we planning on doing another one about dreams?
Yes. Oh, yes. I should. Yeah, I should say that before we leave. So the next
dreams?
virtual sleepover, the topic will be dreams and nightmares. So like just interesting dreams
Woo.
and nightmares that people have had. We're gonna be talking about that next time.
I am so
boy.
hyped to be in
Oh,
that
I'm
one.
good. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to watch that stream.
Dreams and nightmares are kind of my thing, as I come from a world of dreams and nightmares, and I have some interesting ones.
Excellent.
Same.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
coming.
Sweetheart, thank you.
Thank you for hosting.
Come
Yes,
on, kiddo.
sweet dreams, everyone.